Welcome back, listeners, to History Radio, where we delve into the darkest corners of the past, places where historical documentation is so thin that the truth is nothing more than a whisper. We've traced the footsteps of the abandoned, decoded the conspiracies, and shuddered at the horrific crimes of history. Today, we tell a story situated at the strange intersection of Nazi ambition and one of the planet's greatest archaeological mysteries. I invite you to travel with me to the most isolated place on Earth, an island marooned in the middle of the Pacific, guarding colossal stone. Secrets. We are talking about Rapa Nui, better known as Easter Island. But our story isn't about the ancient Moai faces. It's about a military enigma that unfolded right in the middle of World War II. The complete disappearance of a Nazi German force, a lost legion, along with a top-secret mission on this lonely island. The ends of the earth and the ancient obsession. Imagine this. It's 1939, and war has erupted in Europe. While fierce battles are raging, Rapa Nui is a remote, Chilean island, lying more than 3,500 kilometers off the coast of South America. It held no strategic naval value. So why, precisely at that moment, did intelligence reports and later leaked documents point to a strange, almost obsessive, interest in this place by the Nazi German government? The answer lies in the insane mind of Heinrich Himmler, the head of the SS. Himmler was profoundly obsessed with the occult. He believed in the superior Aryan race and forgotten ancient origins. And for Himmler, Easter Island was a magnet. Why? Because of the mysterious wooden tablets called Rongorongo. This is an ancient, undeciphered writing system believed to hold the entire knowledge of the Rapa Nui civilization. Himmler believed that deciphering Rongorongo could unlock the key to the origins of the Aryan race, or perhaps even a type of ancient spiritual weapon, the secret operation, and the vanishing of a German force. As the war escalated, German interest ceased to be academic. It became a top-secret military operation. Between roughly 1942 and 1944, Allied intelligence noted something highly irregular: the disappearance of a significant number of German U-boats and transport vessels in the South Pacific area. These ships weren't sunk in major engagements. They simply vanished from tracking systems. Leaked documents painted an astonishing picture. Nazi Germany had established a secret base on Rapa Nui. The mission was a military archaeological objective, transporting specialists, excavation tools, and, most incredibly, a force estimated to be up to 3,000 German soldiers, supplied by U-boats and disguised merchant ships. 3,000 men, halfway around the world from Berlin. This purpose is illogical, unless they were searching for something far larger and more militarily significant than a racial map. The abandoned outpost. After the war, when the Chilean Navy and other Allied forces eventually investigated the area, what they found only deepened the mystery. They found unusual reinforced concrete structures, built to German engineering standards, deep inside the island's volcanic caves. They found items like food tins, ammunition boxes, and radio communication gear, all bearing Nazi German markings dating to around 1943. But this is what sends shivers down the spine. No bodies were ever found. No grave sites. No signs of a major battle. The entire German force had seemingly vanished into thin air from Rapa Nui. A large, well-equipped force, commanded by hardened SS officers, erased without a trace. The most terrifying truth. So where does the truth lie? Prudent historians dismiss the scale of 3,000 men, but they cannot entirely deny the unofficial presence of German crews on Pacific islands. The most plausible theory merges archaeology with the desperation of war. They went to Rapa Nui seeking ancient knowledge, but when the war ended, they were marooned. The probable scenario: a small team of SS specialists achieved some confidential goal, but when the Allies blockaded the sea routes in 1944 to 1945, their supply lines were severed. This force was not killed by the Allies or an internal purge, but by the sheer, crushing isolation of the island itself. They died from disease, starvation, and despair, abandoned by a collapsing empire. The final survivors may have either committed collective suicide to maintain SS honor, or cast off in small boats in a desperate bid to reach South America only to vanish beneath the Pacific waves. The lack of bodies is likely due to the ravages of time, the harsh environment, and the local Rapa Nui residents carefully erasing all traces of these terrifying invaders. Hitler's Lost Legion may not be a science fiction tale of secret technology, but rather a quiet tragedy of fanatic soldiers abandoned on the world's most remote land, dying to protect a metaphysical treasure that ultimately held no value. Easter Island, with its silent stone faces gazing out to the sea, holds the secret of a war that should never have reached its shores. So, was the disappearance of the Lost Legion an act of mass suicide in the name of the SS, or evidence of a Nazi treasure still sleeping beneath the feet of the Moai statues? Please comment and let us know your thoughts on this enigma. Don't forget to subscribe to History Radio to join us as we uncover the next forgotten historical story and mystery.